Basically, most people think they're in a strong relationship, but they're actually just in proximity. Hi, welcome to Rare Work. This is Gary Johnson. Today we're going to speak on the hidden energies in relationships and teams. So basically, most people think they're in a strong relationship, but they're actually just in proximity amongst each other. They think they have unity, or even worse, fusion, but they never define what level they're actually operating in. And that right there is why relationships break down, friendships fall apart, and families disconnect, not being aware and identifying where we're at. Here's the reality. Most people experience togetherness, but expect unity, or even worse, expect fusion. And when expectations don't match reality, you get disappointed, frustrated, and what feels like betrayal. But a lot of times it's not betrayal. It's misalignment and a lack of awareness. It's a ladder to this thing. I want to give you a simple framework. It's togetherness, unity, fusion. This is a ladder. And most people try to skip steps. You cannot demand fusion if you only establish togetherness. And if you don't identify the level, you won't have the right boundaries or mindset to protect your energy. So let's speak on togetherness. Togetherness is proximity, just being in a close surrounding with each other. You're around each other, you talk, you spend time, you share secrets, you have great times. That's it. It's positive, but it creates a gray area. No real defined expectations, no structured communication, no real aligned execution. So what happened, you feel close, but there's no structure. And this is where miscommunication happens. Inefficiency happens, and yes, betrayal can also happen because nothing was clearly defined. Now, people lie, it's many other things, and I'll get back to that. Watch to the end. Togetherness is only a stepping stone, not a destination. Let's speak on unity. Unity is where things get better. This is where communication exists, agreements are made, execution toward a goal happens. You're not just around each other, you're working together. But here's the reality. People in unity are still individuals. They may agree, but still move independently. And over time, you can get fractions from that. Small misalignments that grow into bigger ones. And now y'all out of alignment and everything. So unity is functional, but it's not fully integrated. Now, fusion. Fusion is different. This is where most people think they are, but very few actually reach. Fusion requires deep self-awareness. Key, self-awareness. You have to know what you want, how you function, what aligns with you, what doesn't. And there's the truth. Fusion is not about keeping everything you like. Some things you got to get rid of for yourself. It's about letting go of what doesn't align, receiving feedback, giving that same feedback back. You evolve together. That means what doesn't work, get removed. What can work, get evolved. And what's agreed to be negative must go. This is especially important in spousal relationships, primarily, because fusion creates efficiency, stability, alignment at a high level. Fusion only works when everything is genuine and authentic. That's the key, that's the baseline toward fusion. Now let's bring this into reality, because here's the truth: most people avoid it. Everyone is not going to be honest, and some people are not going to be completely honest. That's just the truth. That's what it is, and that's real. So the goal is not to expect perfect honesty, because it comes in layers. The goal is to learn how to operate based on the level of honesty being shown and the level of honesty being told. But the most important honesty is honesty with yourself. You have control of that. You have to ask, how long does this work for me? Does this align with how I function? What am I tolerating? What I actually agree with? If something doesn't align, you have two options: evolve it or define when it needs to be removed. So you're asking, can this person evolve? Can I evolve? Are they willing to evolve? Am I willing to evolve? What is their timeline and what is my timeline? And if they don't have a timeline, you at least need one. Because if you don't define a timeline, you stay in confusion longer than necessary. Let's speak on different levels of awareness. Low awareness, dishonest. For people who is dishonest or lack awareness, you don't argue, you observe. Track patterns, watch consistency, pay attention to actions and words. And you give grace. But understand this: grace is a period, not permanent. Honorable chance. You communicate clearly what doesn't align, what doesn't resonate, what needs to change. You give them a real opportunity to see themselves and to see yourself. But if they continue to manipulate, continue to deceive, or remain blind, you have to make an executive decision. You create a boundary and you stand on it. And a final distinction is this. This is where people get it confused. You can still interact with someone, but understand the level that they're at. That's the point, being aware of what level people are at. For dishonest or misaligned people, this is low level togetherness. For honest people, it becomes a high level togetherness, because at least you understand and it can have a potential unity that forms out of it with evolution. You don't force levels. You identify them and operate accordingly. Here's how you apply this groundwork method style. Reassess: what level am I actually in? Align: what boundaries need to be set? Rise: what need to change or be removed? Energy: what do I protect moving forward? If you really want to understand this on a deeper level, I'm doing a full breakdown in a paid webinar in the next 3 weeks, where I give you the full system: real life scenarios, boundaries, frameworks, and a worksheet that actually applies to this, with tools also. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment, because once you understand this, you stop guessing and you start operating with clarity. This will change relationships forever.